Hey guys, welcome to Projects with Steve, and thanks for checking out my series of videos on my backyard shed build. This is part one of the series, and it's going to be basically building the foundation flooring for which the shed's going to be built on. So yeah, this is in my backyard. My wife and I decided that we needed some additional storage space, and so we're upgrading our shed. We had an 8x8 shed that was with the house when we purchased it, and we are upgrading to a much larger shed. So the shed that I'm going to be building here is 10 by 16, and I'm going to have much higher walls on it, so there's going to be a lot more interior space in this shed versus our old one, which was just an 8x8 shed. The new shed's going in the same location in our backyard as the old one. So I've already lifted up the old shed and dragged it out, and that's what you can see on the left side of your screen. And for the time being, that shed will sit there, and so I can keep storing some tools and stuff in there until the new one is completed. Also, prior to this, I've done several things to the land. I had trimmed all the trees around where the shed's going to be built, because this one, like I said, is much taller than the old one. So I had spent some time chopping branches down. That's the pile of brush you see on your right side. And then also prior to this day, I had already laid out where the shed's going to be, and I put down 12 solid concrete blocks. And I think those concrete blocks are about 4 inches tall, and I'd placed those around the perimeter of the shed, as well as a couple in the center of the shed. And below the concrete blocks, I dug a hole and put some gravel in. So I've already leveled up all of those concrete blocks prior to this day, and so in this video is just me starting on the wood floor. So the first thing I had done is I had laid down some 2x8s pressure treated wood and laid those across those concrete blocks. So there's 3 of them that I laid across, and then the next layer of wood is the 2x6s, which I first built a frame, and then I took diagonal measurements of that frame to make sure everything was square. Once I got it squared off, then I started laying in the floor trusses, so that's what I'm doing right here, laying in those 2x6s. And then once I have those 2x6s all laid in place and nailed in, then I will go over top of all this with sheets of OSB for the flooring. So here now I'm laying down the OSB flooring. The reason why I laid down the full sheet there in the center versus starting on the edge is because the door of the shed is going to be on the center of that front wall, and so I didn't want there to be a seam in the flooring directly in the center of that doorway. So I first laid the full 8-foot length in the middle, and I'm just putting 4-foot sections on each side. And then I will stagger all the seams for the flooring as I continue to lay more sheets down. So if you guys have any questions, like I said, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Also, please subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date on how the shed projects comes along. And I hope these videos will help you out as you might be thinking about building a shed of your own. This is not the only way to build a shed, and it's maybe not necessarily the best way to build a shed, but this is how I decided to build a shed, which I felt was best for my skill set and for most economical cost-wise and all that. So yeah, please stay tuned. I hope you stay up to date with the series of videos, and if you'd like, you can click on the bell on your YouTube video, and that will give you some notifications on when new videos get uploaded. When I designed this shed, I did want to keep it as low to the ground as I could. Although it does have the wood floor, it needed to be off the ground. It couldn't sit on the ground. But I didn't want it to be super high up in the air. A lot of times people build sheds and they put them on top of the 8-inch blocks, and I just didn't want it to have that great big step or a steep ramp or a long ramp to get into the shed. So I tried to keep it as low profile as I could. I did that by only using the 4-inch solid concrete blocks versus the 8-inch, and just try to keep it as low to the ground as I could, but without endangering the wood from rotting due to like the snow and that we get or rain. So there's a picture of it all completed, and thanks again for watching, and stay tuned for more parts for my shed build. Thanks.